What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Check this out. One of the things that I think you should understand or get some type of something to think about on your head, so to speak, is how does YouTube decide who sees your videos and that? How does YouTube actually know what videos to put in front of your viewers' face, and why would they pick yours and not other people? And we're gonna get into all that right after this intro. Let's check it out.
Growth's got a formula most never learn. You don't need luck or talent, structure is earned. If you're ready to build and you know it's your turn, start with the 4 free videos, earn as you learn. Click on the more below to sign up.
That's right, y'all. Y'all click on the links down below, sign up for about 4 free videos. And it's amazing, man, how things work, because I remember when I was watching them same 4 free videos and I was like, man, I'm ready to get started. Now I got my own YouTube course. 1 2 1 2. Oh, I was hearing something. Anyway, why it's probably the wrong people. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's check it out.
You spend a week on a video, the hook is tight, the thumbnail is clean, you upload it, and you watch your analytics in real time. It gets 200 views in the first hour, then 150, then 80, then it just stops. And you sit there staring at the screen wondering what you did wrong. Here's what most creators do next. They go back and they change that thumbnail, they tweak the title, they post it in a Facebook group and they ask for feedback, and none of that works because none of that addresses what actually happened. YouTube showed your video to the wrong people. Not because your thumbnail, not because of your title, because of a decision the platform made before a single person clicked play. And once you understand how that decision gets made and what data YouTube is using to make it, you're never going to approach an upload the same way again. Every creator knows that YouTube tests new videos with a small audience before deciding whether to push them further. That's not a secret. Most people in this space have probably heard that at some point. But here's the question that almost nobody asks. And it's the most important question in all of the YouTube growth. Who exactly is in that test audience? Not how big is it? Not how long does the test last? Who are the specific people that YouTube chooses to show your brand new video to in those critical first hours? Because if you don't know how to answer that question, if you've never stopped to think about where that test audience actually comes from, then you're just building an entire channel strategy on a foundation you don't understand. And that's why you keep getting results that don't make sense. The answer to that question explains why a channel with 10,000 subscribers can get fewer views than a channel with 300. It explains why some videos die immediately and others take off 2 weeks after upload. And once I show you the answer, you're going to see your analytics completely different. Here's how YouTube actually builds your test audience. When you upload a new video, YouTube's system doesn't go out and find random people to show it to. It goes directly to your channel's historical data. It looks at who has watched your videos before. It makes sense, right? How long they watched, what they did after watching, and what other content those people consume on the platform. And then it finds a group of people who match that profile as closely as possible. In other words, your test audience is a reflection of your past performance. YouTube is essentially asking, based on everyone who has ever engaged with this channel, what does the typical viewer look like? And then it goes and finds more people who look like that. This sounds reasonable, right? And it is from YouTube's perspective. They're trying to match content to the viewers most likely to enjoy it. The logic there is sound, but here's where it becomes a problem for you specifically. Your historical audience is not the same as your ideal audience. If your early videos were in a different direction, if you went through a period of experimenting with different topics, or if your content quality has improved significantly since you started, then the historical audience YouTube is using to build your test group was shaped by a version of your channel that no longer exists. You've moved forward, your content profile hasn't. And every new video you upload gets tested against an audience that was built by content you made 6 months ago or a year ago. There's a second layer though to this that most creators never discover. YouTube isn't just looking at who watched your videos, It's looking at how they watch them. The platform tracks what I call engagement depth, not just whether someone clicked, but whether they watched 30% of the video or 80%, whether they came back to YouTube and kept watching after your video ended, whether they liked, commented, or shared, whether they clicked away in the first 60 seconds. All that data gets rolled into the profile of a typical viewer for your channel. And that profile determines who gets chosen for your next test audience. So if your historical viewers were low engagement, they clicked, watched for a little while and left, then your test audience is going to be seeded with low engagement people. And low engagement people produce low engagement signals. Makes sense. And low signals means YouTube stops pushing your videos. Okay. It's a cycle. And the longer it runs, the harder it is to break. So what exactly is YouTube measuring when it runs this test? There are 3 signals that matter more than anything else, and most creators are only thinking about one of them. Signal number 1 is your click-through rate. Yes, this matters, but not in the way most people think. YouTube isn't just measuring whether people click, it's measuring whether the right people click. A high click-through rate from the wrong audience is actually a bad signal because those people are going to click and then leave immediately when the content doesn't match what they expected. That mismatch between who clicks and who stays is one of the fastest ways to tank your distribution. Now, I will say before I move on any further, one of the most important things that you can do is get your title right. If we're going to try to hook the viewer, we have to start with the title. That is the most important piece. It's going to, number one, signal the algorithm who you're trying to serve, but also it's going to get someone to want to click. And this is where I see a lot of creators struggle. I actually put together 10 of our top outlier titles, ones that have had the strongest hooks that have gotten hundreds of thousands of views. If you'd like a copy of that, just comment hooks down below and I'll send it to you. Once again, just comment hooks down below and I'll send it to you. I basically created templates of these where you can plug almost any niche into these. Go ahead, comment hooks down below and I'll send it to you. Signal number 2, audience retention. This is the one most creators know about. How long do people watch? But the nuance that gets missed is that YouTube isn't measuring your average view duration in isolation. It's comparing it to the expected view duration for the type of content you're making and the audience you're serving. A 50% retention rate on a 15-minute educational video is very different from a 50% retention rate on a 3-minute entertainment video. Context matters enormously. Signal number 3, satisfaction signals. This is the one almost nobody talks about, and it's becoming increasingly important. YouTube tracks what happens after someone watches your video. Do they keep watching more YouTube content? Do they come back to the platform the next day? Do they click off and go somewhere else? The platform is essentially asking whether your content left the viewer satisfied or frustrated. And satisfied viewers are the ones who come back, which is the entire business model for YouTube. Here's the critical thing about all 3 of these signals. They all are measured against your test audience. So if your test audience is wrong, if they are the wrong people for your content, even a great video can produce bad signals because you're measuring the response of people who are never going to connect with your content.
I don't know, man. This is odd for a beginner, and what he's talking about. If you're trying to figure out some things, first of all, your test audience is people who have subscribed to your channel, and they should be into what it is you're doing. If they clicked on the video, they will recognize you. This is why I think faceless channels is not a good idea, unless they know it's you and your style. You must got an incredible style to run a faceless channel, and that's not for a beginner to me. Anyway, one of the things that I think that he's trying to say is, if people subscribe to your channel, well, I don't know what he's trying to say, to be honest. I'm gonna tell you how it works. Everybody who subscribes to your channel will get notification, or they scrolling. Everybody who's scrolling, they pick who they want to watch next, or they get a notification, whatever the case may be. And he's right about this. The more people in the first round that watches your video, the more people to watch your video, the more it starts sending out to more people. So it kind of tests everything from the subscribers, not just every now and then they pick a random person and everything. They click on it and they subscribe. That's how you get more subscribers. So the hotter this video is, the more it goes viral, for lack of a better word. But your fans, your true fans, need to be the first ones who like it. Does that make sense? The ones, you got to get your subscribers and keep giving them the same type of info that they need or want in order to start helping them move to the next level. That way, your video will pick up more people that's a lookalike audience. They call it a lookalike audience, meaning that a lot of people that I'm subscribed to is into the same thing. So because I'm subscribed to this type of channel, that means that all the people that subscribe to that channel, they might throw my video or your video in this case to some of those people and see if they would like it. And some of them will like it and say, oh, I subscribe. That's how you get more subscribers. But all this right now is too advanced for the beginner. You should be pumping out videos. You should be focused on building a system that keep you pumping out videos, at least one video a day. If you want to grow a channel, anyway, let's continue.
Content in the first place. So what's the fix? How do we actually change who ends up in your test audience? Because that's the real question. If your historical data is working against you, what do you do about it? Step 1, engineer your next upload specifically for completion. The fastest way to update YouTube's picture of your channel is to produce a video that keeps people watching significantly longer than your historical average. Not a little longer, significantly longer. If your average view duration has been sitting at around 35%, you need a video that pushes to 55 or 60%. That kind of jump in retention data sends a strong enough signal to start shifting how YouTube profiles your typical viewer. The way you do that is with a hook that opens a loop in the first 30 seconds that can only be closed by watching the full video. Not a teaser, not a preview, an actual unresolved question that the viewer genuinely needs answered. When people feel like leaving would mean missing something specific, they stay. And when they stay, your data profile changes. All right, step 2. Stop optimizing for subscribers and start optimizing for the right subscribers. Every subscriber your channel earns is a potential in your test audience. That member is going to be the one that could watch your next video, which means the quality of your subscriber matters as much as the quantity. A viewer who found you through a 10-minute video and watched 80% of it is worth 20 viewers who clicked subscribe from a short and never came back. When you're thinking about growth, think about what kind of viewer each piece of content is going to bring in, because the viewer is going to be in the room when YouTube decides whether to push your next video. Step 3, give YouTube a consistent content signal. The channels that get the most reliable distribution are the ones where YouTube can predict exactly what kind of person is going to love the next video based on who loved the last one. That is consistency. We want the same topic area, same tone, same depth of content is what allows YouTube's system to build an increasingly accurate picture of your ideal viewer. And the more accurate that picture is, the better your test audience gets. And the better your test audiences get, the better your signals are. And the better your signals are, the wider your distribution. This is how channels build momentum that compounds over time. It's not about one video going viral. It's about training the platform to understand exactly who you're making content for. So here's the one thing I want you to walk away from this video understanding, and it's really important. YouTube is not randomly deciding who sees your videos. It's making a very calculated decision based on the data your channel has already produced. Your past is literally shaping who gets to see your future content. That's a difficult thing to hear if your past performance hasn't been great. But it's also the most empowering thing you can know, because it means you have complete control over how that changes. Every video you upload from this point forward is either reinforcing the old profile or building a new one. You get to decide which one it does. If you want to understand exactly what happens when that test audience goes cold, when YouTube has already moved your channel to a different list entirely, I made a full video on that. It's called Your Channel Isn't Dead: Watch that video right there. I'll break it down for you and you can go ahead and get this thing fixed as soon as possible. Watch that video next and I'll see you there.
Wow. Yeah, I think that people, I'm trying to tell y'all all the stuff that I did that didn't work. Listening to all these videos coming up and trying to look and trying to do this. And I'm like, this is not working. I can't get nothing going. I'm not making any money. And 90% of the people, this is how they quit. Once you get yourself a coach and sit down and start talking one-on-one with somebody, then you start understanding a system. They got a bunch of videos. We got YouTube videos. A course. The course has a bunch of videos in it. Now my videos is actually showing people step by step. Don't worry about all this. Right now you're not in the thumbnails. Yeah, man, they said you got to make a good thumbnail. Everybody and their mama's making thumbnails. So you great start making thumbnails too. Sit down, relax. Titles. Oh, the title got to be good. Yeah, everybody and their mama making titles. Relax, chill. Sit down. Once you get structure, get a formula together, please. Understand what you're doing. Take it from somebody who already been there. 2 years of banging my head and my face up against the wall. I'm going to get this thing. I'm going to figure it out. Bought a YouTube course. God dang, this stuff is expensive. These people are making millions of dollars. And you mean to tell me you're not going to buy their course? Bought their course? Game changer. I bought the YouTube course. The YouTube course was a game changer. I started figuring out things. I rushed through some stuff. I'm trying to hurry up and get this thing going. Now, I'm a full-time YouTuber. This is my job. Now we putting together a course. You see how that works? You learn from somebody. That way you can start understanding what it is you're guessing at and what it is you're not guessing at. It's crazy how it works. But I recommend that you stop guessing first, because all the stuff that he was talking about, wait a minute, they sending my videos. If you do great videos, you don't have to worry about all the stuff that he's talking about. And you upload and let the algorithm do what it needs to do. And you'll start picking out through your analytics which ideas work and which ideas don't work. And it's all on, you got these people who have subscribed to your channel. They know what they want to see and they know what they don't want to see. Stop worrying about an algorithm and start making videos for people. And I guarantee you, your channel will blow up. I'm Uncle Mike. I'm going to get on up out of here. Y'all take it light, take it slow. You tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Shh. Peace out.